Good everything.
Alright guys, we're back in SoloLearn today doing CSS. That's what we're doing. CSS, working with text. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This one's a little bit of a long one. So there's a lot of styling you can do for text. And we'll go ahead and go through that right now. Font family is assigning a different font type, such as Times New Roman or Arial. Let's go ahead and continue on. Fill in the blanks to make the font of the paragraph Arial. Alright, so we have our font family, and then we want to assign the font, and then we have our p tag as the selector. Font family property. In the browser, if the browser does not support the default font, then right here, Arial, we have backup fonts separated by commas going in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Why is the name of one of the fonts put in quotes? I believe it. Oops. No? What did that say last time? Let's go back real quick. Oops. Keep on doing the same thing. Oh, whoops. Okay, so the name, you use the quotes if it's more than one word. Didn't know that. I did not know that. Cool. So learn things already. So font size. So they have some classes. Font size small, blah, 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 large, extra large. So you can see it continues on. Rearrange the code to style the rule. So we have our selector, our opening tag, our closing tag, and then the CSS in between there. To calculate the M size. So you can use M, which is the pixels divided by 16. I didn't know that either. So this is I already like this course. I knew I had CSS lack of knowledge. I'm glad I'm doing this right now. Set the font size of the paragraph to 15 px. Simple. We're gonna go ahead and set 15 pixels and our font size like so. Cool. Font dash style. It's usually specified for italic text. Cool, so you can set the style of a text, such as italic. So we want to make it italic. We use the font dash style parameter and value. You have normal, you have italic, and oblique. I'm not quite sure what oblique means. Let's actually look that up, right? So let's see what oblique looks like. We'll just jump into W3 Schools real quick. So normal, italic. Oblique kind of seems to be bold / italic. I don't know. I have to look into that a little bit more. But let's go ahead and continue on for now. Font dash weight. So you'll see how bold it is. Basically, lighter is less than normal. Then you have bold, which is bolder than normal. Then bolder, which is the boldest. So that's font dash weight. Font weight property, lighter. You can also put it in how much of the font weight. The strong tag also does that. Although I believe strong, you're not supposed to use that anymore if I remember correctly. In HTML5 on. It will still work for most browsers though. The numeric value, and I could be wrong about that. It's been a while, but I believe my IDE told me not to use that anymore. The numeric values are used for the font weight property. So we can go 100 to 900. Cool. Font variant. Whew, I like this. The font variant will actually capitalize all the letters or lowercase all the letters or just leave it alone as normal. One thing to note right here is not every font supports this. But luckily, if you're working in a web application such as Angular 2, there's probably a filter that does that. So it was normal small dash caps is how to do the. So small caps will make everything lowercase. Color. Color is how you change the color of the text in CSS. Colored class green. Fill in the blanks to make the text of the colored class. So we have colored. So a paragraph with the colored class, and we want the color of it to be green. There we go. And let's see the color property. You can also notice how you can do RGB, or you can do the hex values as well. A couple different ways. So you can use color names, hexadecimal. I don't remember octal being anything, so we'll ignore that. Aligning text horizontally. So you can align your text-align to left, right, center, and justify. I'm not quite sure what justify is. When text is set to justify, each line is stretched so that every line has equal width and the left and right margins are straight, as in magazines or newspapers. I'll probably have to see that in action to fully grasp that, but I'll keep that on the back burner, kind of remember which of the values not applicable. Text right, center, left. Even. I don't believe there was an even. So. Aligning text vertically. Cool. You can also align. So sometimes when you're working on, I had this happen at work recently where I needed the text to align with the radio button, and it wasn't. It was on the bottom. It's kind of offset. It looked kind of ugly. To fix that, we would use vertical align, so that aligns center and properly, as you see right here. So you have top, you have middle, you have bottom. Fill the blanks to have the class test, so dot test. Then we have our vertical align, and we want it to be to the bottom. Cool. Vertical align property. You have baseline, sub, super, and -10. So you can kind of see slightly different. So this will pop it up, this will pop it down. You can also put in text values. Maybe you want a certain word to pop out a little bit more, or when you hover over it, apply that effect. Anyhow, negative values can be used. Vertical align property is true if you want to move the word down. Let's see here. Text is aligned. Display inline table and display table cell styling rules are applied to make vertical align property work with divs. Okay. So we just found out it does not work the same for all elements. Text decoration. Now this is something you might want to do. If you're, depending on what you want to do. So like the typical thing for the cross out is like a to-do list. If you're starting learning a programming language, that's pretty common. Inherit, text decoration, overline, underline. So you can underline things, you can overline things. I'm not quite sure why you would use overline, but hey, if it works, it works. What value of text decoration property substitutes a HTML S tag? So strong would not be overline, line through, blink. It might not. I guess blink. Actually, let's go back real quick because I guess line through draws a horizontal line through. All right, so substitutes the S tag right here. So that's what the S tag does. So I was thinking they were meaning the strong tag. That's my fault. Another value of text decoration is blink, which makes the text blink. So blink no longer works in most browsers, so you should probably just ignore that. Fill in the blanks to make the text underlined. All right, cool. And this is text dash decoration, and then we have our closing tag as well. Oops. Make sure you put the right brackets in there. There we go. Indenting the text. So this is another cool thing, is I didn't realize that this even existed, text-indent. So if you want your paragraphs to be indented, you can go ahead and assign a text-indent property to it. That's pretty cool. The position which is specify the text indent property, the first line of the text blocks. There we go. And then text-shadow. You can kind of add a background style effect to it, like so. you're going to have to add the X coordinate, the Y coordinate, the radius of it, and then the color of the shadow as well. And then my phone's going off mid-video. Sorry about that, guys. Anyhow, what is the format of the value of the text shadow property? It goes the X, which is horizontal, vertical, blur, and color. So you can see there's text shadow where you can also assign the RGB, and you can bring it outwards as well. So that's what's going on here a little bit more. Note that IE9 and earlier doesn't support this. So create a text shadow with horizontal and vertical distance of 5 pixels and blur radius of 2. So this was text-shadow, and it's 5 pixels, vertical distance of 5px, okay, and a blur radius of 2px. Did I do that right? Cool. Cool. Text-transform. Another way of it looks like capitalizing our stuff here. You can see. Actually, let's go back real quick. Only capitalizing the first letter of each word. So text dash. We have capitalize, right? So capitalize all the first letters. There's to uppercase and to lowercase. So to uppercase, we'll do all the letters. To lowercase, we'll do all the letters down to lowercase. Which option is not supported by the text transform? Small caps, capitalize. Yeah, so small caps is not supported. You may think so because it's similar to what we were talking about earlier. Letter spacing. So sometimes you want to put a little bit more spacing in between your letters for whatever reason. You can do that. So you see right here, there's 4 pixels of spacing between each letter. So we have letter dash spacing and 4 pixels. Good to go on that. You can even bring it together more if you want a little more grouped. So fill in the blank, that'd be -1 centimeter. Is that it? So apparently you can use centimeters in here as well. I guess is that, I'm not sure if that was centimeters or not. Word spacing. So similar to how you can do letter spacing, you can make the distance between each words, which is nice. I didn't know that existed. Pretty cool. So we have our word spacing, and we want it to be 15 pixels apart for each word. You can use px, pt, pc, centimeters, millimeters, inches, m, and ex for the values to work with this. Chances are you're probably going to use pixels most of the time, if anything. So there are no foots and there are no yards when talking about word spacing. So white spacing. So white space is basically how your words act within here. So you see right here, it reaches the end of the page. Normally it would drop down and wrap down below, and it just by line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until it was done. However, when you set it to no wrap, it's going to continue on indefinitely from left to right horizontally until you put a break in it or it ends. So what are the functions of the no wrap option? It puts the whole text in one line. I think that's it. No? Let's go back. There we go. White space values. So text will only wrap on line breaks and white space. Pre-line text will wrap where there's a break in the code, but extra white space is still ignored. Text will wrap when necessary and on line breaks. So you'll see right here, it kind of makes it more pre-wrap for the white space and pre-line. just messes with the code a little bit to make it neater or not neat. It all depends on what you want to do. What is the difference between pre and pre-line? Pre accepts the line breaks and white space. Pre-line ignores the white space. All right, let's. Excuse me. Pre-line text. But white space is still ignored. There we go. Module 2 quiz. What is the correct syntax to make all P elements bold? So we have P, style, font weight, bold. That should be it. Cool. Fill in the blanks to make the paragraph red and bold. So we're going to set the color property to red, and then we were going to set the font dash weight property to bold. That should be it. And finally, fill in the blanks to make the text of all H1 elements. So our selector is H1. Our font size is 14. Our font dash weight is bold. And the color is red. And by the way, of everything we use, this is about 90% of what you need to know from this section. Font size, maybe not font weight, color. There's a lot in here, but you probably won't use most of it. But just be aware that it exists. And cool. So that was working with text. A lot of cool stuff just with text that I learned a few things, and I'm going to put it in the back of my mind for when I find a way to use it in my at my work or in my side projects. But as always, guys, thank you for watching the video. Look forward to our weekly interviews with developers and those in software every Friday and Behind the Code. And support me on patreon.com/codingtutorials360. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hey, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in coding bootcamp, check out devmountain.com, where housing is included in your price of tuition. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.